Thanks to the folks who led the way. Thanks to the folks, let us thank them every day.
Hi, this is the Fresh Toones Show, and my name is Dave Paltz. And today's show is one of my inspirational live shows dedicated to John Lewis. He's certainly an American icon, and his history of fighting for civil rights goes back to the 1950s. And today I want to draw some attention to the struggles that he was involved with. And John Lewis was quite a lighthearted guy sometimes, and he would often tell his stories, especially when he was campaigning, of when he was a kid, and he always wanted to be a preacher. So he'd practice with the chickens that they had on his farm, and he'd preach away, telling them the stories of the Bible. It got to a point where his assistants that worked with him throughout the years in Congress would start to laugh when he'd start telling that story to a new audience. It's probably a good place to begin his story, a youngster preaching to the farm animals. And today's first fresh tune that I'm going to share with you is called Sunday School. It's a song I wrote about folks who forgot everything they learned in Sunday school and figured all that stuff they were teaching us as kids was just meant for Sunday school and not really for the real world. Well, John Lewis knew that in his life, he wanted to live out some of those things that he learned in Sunday school. And that's what this song is called, Sunday School.
Mama, is it true? The end justifies the means. The good of the tribe excuses the evils that they do. Mama, is it true? Tell me without flinching. Was the love once taught to me just meant for Sunday school? A Sunday school, a Sunday school. Love was just for Sunday school. Daddy, is it true? Folks once fought for equal justice. Didn't march through town chanting words of hate. Daddy, was it true? Please tell me the answer. Can we try to live with love, or was that just for Sunday school? A Sunday school, Sunday school. Love was just for Sunday school. Sister, is it true that you suffered for so long under the yoke of misogyny? Sister, is it true that we've got so much yet to do to live the words we heard in Sunday school? Sunday school, a Sunday school. Love was just for Sunday school. Brother, have you heard all of the questions? Can we find a way to find some better ways? Can we work together and live with compassion? Or was all this talk of love just meant for Sunday school? A Sunday school, Sunday school. Love was just for Sunday school. A Sunday school, Sunday school. Love was just for Sunday school.
Well, John Lewis was a very dedicated student. The only problem was growing up on a farm in the South, there were times when there was planting and harvesting. His father would expect him to be in the fields helping and told him he wouldn't be able to go to school. Well, John was a little quick on his feet, and he'd hide under the porch until the school bus came by, and when it stopped, he'd run out there and jump on and get to school and learn as much as he could. By the time he was a freshman in high school, a decision from the Supreme Court came down, and that's when the Supreme Court handed down their decision about school desegregation. And John was pretty excited. This decision that said the doctrine of separate but equal was unconstitutional. Well, John thought, oh, this is going to be great. He's going to go to a state-of-the-art school and ride a state-of-the-art bus, and things are going to really improve now that he could go to a regular high school and not one that was segregated. Well, little did he know this wasn't going to happen overnight, and often things don't. Well, we still have a ways to go. This is a song that I wrote for a kids project, an animated piece, for some kids coming into Animate Studio to learn about animation. So I wrote this song that sometimes it felt like these little workshops were like little Sunday schools, that I could share some of the things that I learned about as a kid, maybe in Sunday school or elsewhere, and maybe get the kids enthusiastically singing some of these songs. And this song was called Friends Come in All Shapes and Colors.
Have you ever had a good friend? 'Cause good friends are fun to have. Did you laugh and rap and run and play? Did you wish it could last all day? 'Cause friends, they come in all shapes and colors. All that stuff don't mean a thing. If we can smile and laugh with a good friend, yeah, that's what we really need. Ooh, 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 the more the merrier, so they say. So why not find some more? It doesn't matter where they came from or what they came here for. 'Cause friends, they come in all shapes and colors. All that stuff don't mean a thing. We can smile and laugh with a good friend, yeah, that's what we really need. 'Cause friends, they come in all shapes and colors. All that stuff don't mean a thing. We can smile and laugh with a good friend, yeah, that's what we really need. That's what we really need. We really need. That's what we really need.
This is the Fresh Toones Show, and today's show is dedicated to John Lewis as one of the Inspirational Lives episodes that I've been doing. I must share with you a lot of the information that I'm sharing with you today came from John Lewis's book called March. And there's actually 3 graphic novel books, and they're really pretty good. You should check them out. It's called March. In 1959, John Lewis was involved with the lunch counter protest in Nashville, I believe. And after he attended some nonviolent training sessions, they took it upon themselves to integrate the lunch counters in Nashville. It wasn't a pretty sight, and it was a tough go. But even in those days, I think John Lewis believed that one of these days things are going to get better if we put our minds to it, and if we can convince others that this was the just thing to do. Then he believed that one day segregation would no longer be the the policies throughout the South and even in the North. This song is called One of These Days.
One of these days, we're gonna find a better way. One of these days, we're gonna sit right up and say, we're gonna find it in our hearts to let our love do its part. One of these days, we're gonna find a better way. One of these days, justice will prevail. When we can march for rights without the threat of jail. When we can sing it from our hearts and know it's just the start. One of these days, justice will prevail. One of these days, there's gonna be a fair wage. If we work hard, we should get a decent pay. They say what we're not worth, but we work hard for what we earn. One of these days, we're gonna get a fair wage. One of these days, we're gonna see the sun come out. Realize the fruits that so long we did without. We're gonna fill those baskets full and share them, yes we will. One of these days, we're gonna see the sun come out. One of these days, we're gonna find a better way. One of these days, we're gonna sit right up and say, we're gonna find it in our hearts to let our love do its part. One of these days, we're gonna find a better way. One of these days, we're gonna find a better way. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, we're gonna find a better way.
This is the Fresh Toones Show, and today's show we're remembering John Lewis. This next song, although it was written about Martin Luther King and Gandhi and Jesus Christ, I'm going to think about John Lewis as I play this song called Remembering You.
You gathered up the children to speak to them of love. Prostitutes, kings, and lepers, you asked all of them to come. But they didn't like the message, so the messenger was killed. But I'm remembering you. You may not have been perfect, although the crowd demands you be. Perhaps you didn't have all the answers, but you never said you did. And I'm remembering you. Your patience was unheard of, your love they couldn't deny. Though they'd rather kill each other, you lovingly pleaded why. And they didn't like the message, so the messenger was killed. been perfect, although the crowd demand you be. Perhaps you didn't have all the answers, but you never said you did. And I'm remembering you. You took us to the mountaintop and showed us what could be. You gave us thoughts to live by, thoughts to set us free. But they didn't like the message, so the messenger was killed. But I'm remembering you. You may not have been perfect, although the crowd demands you be. Perhaps you didn't have all the answers, but you never said you did. And I'm remembering you. They gave us thoughts to live by, thoughts to set us free. But we didn't like the message, so the messengers were killed. But I'm remembering you. But I'm remembering you.
There's way too much to share about John Lewis' life, so you should check out his book called March. One of the early things that he took part in was as a member of the Freedom Riders, and certainly their lives were at risk a number of times. I'm sure that some of those moments when he was curled up and being beaten, times when he had to convince himself that as scary as it is, I need to do it, I need to be a part of this group that's trying to change things. This song is called You Can Do It.
You can do it. You can make it through it, even though you might wonder why. There is something inside you, and it's walking beside you, and it is larger than yourself, and it's whispering your name, and it's wiping your eyes, and it's touching your soul, set you free. You are unique to this world. You need to let your flag be unfurled, to be who you are, and that is all. The sun has sprouted your seed, the warmth has lifted your head. Now you know what you know, and that is all. And it's whispering your name, and it's wiping your eyes, and it's touching your soul to set you free. You can do it. You can make it through it, even though you might wonder why. There is something inside you, and it's walking beside you. It is larger than yourself, and it's
it's whispering your name, and it's wiping your eyes, and it's touching your soul to set you free.
In the summer of 1963, John Lewis, he had an opportunity to speak just before Martin Luther King during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. One of the major opportunities that he had to share his ideas and what the people marching for civil rights were trying to do. I'd just like to say thank you to all those folks for all their efforts that they made to bring justice and bring about some change. This song is called Thanks to the Folks.
Thanks to the folks who led the way. Thanks to the folks, let us thank them every day. Open the doors when the doors were locked. Told the truth when the truth was mocked. Let us always remember that we mustn't forget, that we listen very carefully and say what we must. Thanks to the folks who took the risk. What they taught us we mustn't miss. To lend a hand to plant the seed of love and giving is what the world needs. We may only be a single being, but we must try and be all that we can be. The way we live will speak much louder for the things we want to say. Thanks to the folks who led the way. Thanks to the folks, let us thank them every day. In our effort to do what's right, let us try with all our might. Thanks to the folks. Thanks to the folks. Thanks to the folks. Thanks to the folks. Let us thank them every day.
Well, there's just so much to John Lewis's life that I'm not even going to be able to hit on today. I certainly don't want to forget to mention the march from Selma to Montgomery in 1965, where he was almost beaten to death as they tried to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge. But he survived that, damaged pretty severely, but he survived that and later ran for Congress and served there almost 34 years in the House of Representatives. I just want to finish up today's show with a song called May You Rest in Peace.
May you rest in peace, 'cause in the life you live, may you rest in peace, surrounded by all the love you gave. As we say our goodbyes, know your love still lives within our lives. May you rest in peace. Each of us that loved you know what you gave to us, and we will give it out to to others as you gave it out to us. May you rest in peace. May your love live on forever, and our memories never rest. And may these tears that run so freely wash away our grief, so we can sing more clearly a song of love. May you rest in peace. May you rest in peace, as in the life you live. May you rest in peace, surrounded by all the love you gave. As we say our goodbyes, know your love still lives within our lives. May you rest in peace. May you rest in peace. May you rest in peace.
And that's it for the Fresh Toones show today, dedicated to the memory of John Lewis and all the things that he did and accomplished. I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for tuning in. So long now.